Hey guys, it's masatonic. I'm Bilingual Harukist. 皆さん、こんにちは。Bilingual Harukist の masatonic です。Haruki Murakami Book Guide Short Story 15 Silence. So, in this video, I'd like to talk about Haruki Murakami's short story Silence. I just wondering, these short stories, I think not so famous, but it's very, very interesting in many ways. It's a kind of very deep book, and you can read in various way. And I think it's not a typical type of Haruki Murakami's so-called stories. It could have featured one specific episode of very long novel. It could be, but it's not like that. This is just a short story, Silence. So, and as always, I hope this video would help you to read more deeply in this book, about this book. So let's get started. As always, this video consists of three parts. First, overview of this book, and the second, story, and third, deep reading. So first, overview. Actually, it's very unique because this work, originally written for all works of Haruki Murakami, 1979 to 1985, volume 5, and published in 1991 January. Of course, this book itself is available only in Japan. It's not translated into English or any other languages. And I think one thing I really interesting is at this very early career, 1979 to 1985, just 6 years, he already published his old works. So it's published in 1991. So at that time, there is no The Wind Up Bird Chronicle 1Q84, of course, Killing Commandatory. It's totally very early stage of his career, but at that stage, already he published all works of Haruki Murakami. And when he published this book, he wrote for kind of original novel, and that is this work, Silence. And in the English market, of course, you can read it. It's contained in The Elephant Vanishes. It's a collection of short stories, as you might know. And there's, in this book, 17 short stories contained in here, in The Elephant Vanishes. So you can read it when bought these books. I put on link, Amazon link to a video, Vero's video section. And in Japan, before published Elephant Vanishes, Silence was contained in the another collection of short stories. This is it, The Lexington Ghost. It published 1996 November. It's kind of very good jacket, isn't it? It features so many Haruki Murakami's my favorite things like Stargates record and beer and t-shirts. And the t-shirts is featured Tony Takitani. So in a way, it's very. I really love this book cover. I really like it. And unfortunately, the Lexington Ghost, as a book, it's not published in the US or any other English market. And the Lexington Ghost included the same title, Lexington Ghost, in Japanese, レキシントンの幽霊, but it's not translated to English. Only that one piece of work, not translated into English. I don't know why, but any other works like a Little Green Monster, Silence, Iceman, Tony Takitani, Seventh Man, and Blind Widow and Sleeping Woman. It's all translated into English, so you can read it. But anyway, in Japan, in Lexington's Ghost, this work, Silence, contained. And in English market, you can read it in The Elephant Vanishes. All right, that's an overview of this book, Silence. So what kind of story this work has? Let's move into story. It's bitter, a strange structure this work has, because there is, as always, there is I is featured. Somebody like Haruki Murakami like character I, and Mr. Osawa has a conversation, And then, but basically, in many ways, Osawa is protagonist of this story because Osawa told I to about his story. And what is about Osawa has hit somebody. And actually, I asked Mr. Osawa, did did you have experience to hit somebody? Well, and it's just just the idea. Just I asked Osawa, and Osawa asked a reply to him, and then started to told his story. So that's a basic structure of the story. And yes, Osawa has a memory of hit somebody, and that's a basic story of Ryan. And then Osawa told I about his story, and something that goes well like this. When Osawa has was teenager, he started to learn boxing training, and it's not like he want to be how to say strong or he want to become a boxer. It's just a parent's advice because Mr. Osawa's uncle had boxing gym. It's very serious one, but also just gets just also parents how to say told Osawa, why not study boxing? And then boxing, and then Osawa started to train boxing at his uncle's boxing gym. When I started, he not so much interested, but the more he trained hard, the more get interested about boxing itself. Because as Osawa's point of view, boxing is not a how to say battle against people, but a battle against himself. It's to his opinion, in his opinion, it's very, how to say, personal and deep activity, he thought. And in a way, he really interested in and deep into boxing training world. So he became strong. And at that time, there is some kind of a test in his junior high school. And uh, one day Osawa want to get to a very good score because when he did, maybe his parents gave him some kind of allowance or present, so he get really serious and he got a very high score, a top of class score, almost full. So, but there is some other people who named Aoki, Mr. Aoki, and Aoki is a kind of very genius, not genius, but a kind of uh, kind of top A, all A type of student, Aoki. And then Aoki always got a highest score on every subject, especially in English. But this case also is also got a more higher score than Aoki. And then teacher said something about that and might make fun of Aoki. And Aoki got a very, how to say, frustrated about that. And then Aoki took a revenge on Osawa. He started to learn more. Osawa could have a kind of cheating. And that's why he can get to a more higher score than Aoki. Then everybody believe in that story because from everybody's point of view, Osawa is not the person who got a high score in English. So everybody just believe in. And then Osawa is kind of, how to say, cheated in a way. And then also very got frustrated about that. And then also asked, okay, why did you do such a things? And then, but Aoki just ignore about it. And that moment, also, without thinking anything, just hit Aoki. It's a, how to say, not intentional one, unintentional one. But the fact is fact, he hit Aoki. And the moment he hit Osawa's grab a fist facing the Aoki's face, he also some very regret about that, but it's it's too late because fact is fact, he hit Aoki, and Aoki had a very shock about that because he got a bleed. But at that time, nothing happened. Just Aoki, and the next day, Aoki took a day off, but nothing happened. And then few years have passed, nothing without any trouble. But in the high school grade 3, so final years of high school, Aoki and Osawa reunion at same class. And then also, of course, Osawa is very nervous about that. Aoki had something in mind, and he would try some kind of revenge against Osawa. He also just worried about that. But at first, nothing happened. The ordinary day is going on, and then one day, their classmate Matsumoto got suicide. So, and then when police investigated about that, Matsumoto got hit by somebody. So maybe that's a reason of her suicide. So, and then at the time, Osawa got investigated or interrogated by police, and the police asked Osawa, "Did you hit Matsumoto?" Of course, Osawa did not do such a thing, but police has information. Osawa is trained in boxing, and he hit Aoki when he was junior high school. So, and then maybe that, how to say, his training history and he could be violent to other people. So, and then police just kind of interrogated Osawa. He is a reason of Matsumoto's suicide, and Osawa is very shocked about that. And he thought maybe this is something Aoki is on behind these how to say incidents. We also did not think about Matsumoto's suicide is a reason due to Aoki, but police investigation about a boxing and also might relate it to Matsumoto's suicide. That kind of doubt could maybe Aoki lead police to think that way, and also is very get frustrated about that. And even more, he felt very frustrated is silence from other people, because of course interrogation or investigation by police is strictly a, how to say, secretive activity. But of course everybody noticed about that. Osawa, a police interrogated Osawa. So Osawa, to some extent, related to Matsumoto's suicide. Osawa could be a teacher Matsumoto. So everybody think that way without any doubt. So, and then silent to Osawa. When Osawa asked towards somebody say something, but nobody asked him back. So that's a very tough situation, very tough. At that time, Osawa is maybe, so high school grade 3 means 17 or 18 years old. It's very, very, very sensitive age and very hard age even in usual case. But he is much more tough situation. But he just concentrated in boxing training and to with his effort, he tried to overcome the situation, but it's very difficult, very tough. So also thought with this situation, he could be mad. But one day, when he rode or train, Osawa encounter with Aoki, and then their trains very jammed, very crowded. So it's some distance between them, but and one moment their eyes met. So And then at first, Aoki kind of looked down on him, Osawa. But Osawa just looked back to him, and he found some fact or some kind of a get some insight from Aoki's eye, or yes, Aoki's eye. But if the our investigation by police is really Aoki's intention, but and then because of it, he had hit by Osawa when he was junior high. Osawa thought how to say how cheap Aoki is, because just such a revenge he spent on his kind of teenage days, just revenge in this very, how to say, very indirect way and very, how to say, very bad way from Osa's point of view. So, and then he just satisfied with that activity, Osawa thought. So at that moment, Osawa's, how to say, angry or heart of revenge on Aoki is disappear, because Osawa thinks Osawa himself is much more deeper, because he can concentrate on anything. In his case, boxing or reading books or listening music by himself. But Aoki is just cheating other people. So Osa thinks, oh, he's just a man who liked that. And then at that moment, Osawa's frustration had to disappear. And then gradually he became recovery. Of course, this whole episode had huge impact on Osawa. Because of this episode, Osawa couldn't believe in somebody 100%. So it's a very tough. And then after that, gradually he recovered. So he graduated high school and went to very far university, far from his junior high and high school. So because he won't see anybody from his school. So, and then after graduating a university, he got married, and he has also has a kid, even kids. But still, sometimes at night, he got some very bad dream of silence. And then actually, Osawa can, how to say, run away from somebody like Aoki. And then Aoki like people is everywhere. It's just how to say, just as it is. Aoki like people is everywhere. So when he Osawa met somebody like Aoki, he just ran away from that kind of people, because their how to say, existence itself simply Osawa couldn't stand. So just run away. But one thing Osawa really hate is not just somebody like Aoki, but other people who just believe in the saying of Aoki like people saying. Aoki like people say something, other people just believe in what he told, because he Aoki like people is a good speaker. His word is very simple, and the way of speaking is very persuasive, very convincing. So other people just believe in, oh, Aoki is a good guy, and or somebody like Osawa is a bad guy. They can, third party people just believe in just the way of Aoki like people's talking. And then some cases just other people got silenced. That kind of silence is very scary, and simply didn't how to say, he can't stand it more than Aoki like people. So, and then when he that kind of influence and hate, emotional hate against that kind of people, it still remain. That's why also sometimes had a bad dream. That kind of story also told to I, and then And then finally, also said, um, uh, it's feel like have a beer. And of course, I agree. That's a story of silence. So, how is it? What a deep story, isn't it? Of course, I was very surprised because I just simply asked Osawa, "Did you have a experience to hit people?" And Osawa's answer is yes. And he started to talk about these long stories. But anyway, it's very um, how to say, very unique story. We can read in many ways. We can get many insight from this story. So how to deep read of this story? One point is think about meaning of a title. As I said, this work's title is silence. So this expression, dream of silence, is very, very how to say, impressive, at least to me. So what do you think? Why this story has a title of silence? And silence is I'm not sure in the other countries' cases, but at least in Japan, silence, in Japanese, we call this silence 沈黙. And this word 沈黙 has another book, same title, and a very famous one, who the author is Shusaku Endo, and Shusaku Endo's Silence is a very popular one. Unfortunately, I never read it, but I know the contents. Content is a kind of a very hard experience of hidden Christian in Japan, especially maybe the era is I'm not sure, but maybe kind of later or during Edo era, I guess. I'm sorry if it's not the correct information, but such a there's not modern days, but kind and such a how to say pretty modern era. And then at that time, Japan is prohibited to believe in Christianity, so all Christians have to be hidden or how to say change their religion. But and then of course the very serious Christian has a very hard time during that time, and then such a hard time in silence. Shusaku Endo depicts how hard the life is, and what's the how to say religion is. What's the meaning of religion? What's the core of such a religion? He wrote about, and then I think so. Majority of Japanese people who found Haruki Murakami's silence, 沈黙, reminds the end of Shusaku Endo's one. So maybe they could have some connection to between both work. So from that point of view, you can think about a relation or meaning of title silence. This is one way. And another way, let's think about not just Mr. Osawa's story, but from Aoki's or third party's point of view. Let's think about that. Actually, when I read this work, Silence, of course, I think, this is very interesting book, but not like other Haruki Murakami's works. Actually, to be honest, I'm not sympathized with Mr. Osawa. I don't know why, but so in a way, simply I just I can't believe in Osawa's story 100% as Osawa's tale. So in literary case, there is some how to say some theory of a how to say untrustful narrator. So there's some case that really happens. Say some a detective type of story or some classical works. The narrators saying, of course, what narrator said told is basically a reader have to believe it. But in some case, their story is very, very doubtful, or at least including some doubtful part in their story. So in a way, I think this story, Silence, and Osawa's story could have some doubt including. So let's think about this story from Aoki's point of view or other parties' point of view. Maybe they could have, you can read in many other way. This is what really that kind of story or not. So this is another way. But in any case, when you read this book deeply, think deeply, it's very hard experience, I assure you. So then let's think deep, and after that, let's have a beer and with and then have a conversation with other people. So how is it? And thank you for watching my video. I hope this video will help you read more deeply about science. Actually, just reading science itself is a very deep experience, I assure you. But with this video, let's think about in many ways with beer. And if you have any comment and feedback, please give me right on the comment section. And if you like this video, I would appreciate you gave me a high rate or subscribe my channel. So thank you again. So let's see another movie. No, let's see in another video. Thank you. Bye.